Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you today. Um, Welcome. Let's do a little hip mobility and strength. And of course, like always, we will start with tuning in. It helps us notice all of the things that we need to be doing to cultivate this amazing hip strength and mobility. So take your head over your hips, your chest lifts naturally. Take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes and start to breathe out twice as long as you breathe in. And see how that calms the nervous system. And you can start to tune in and be really aware. So just notice your right hip against the block or the floor or the pillow that you're sitting on. And notice your left hip. Notice what happens when you contract your right glutes. Your hip might pop up a little bit or lift up. Just notice that feeling sensation when your glutes contract. We're going to be doing some hip strength and mobility work today. So it is going to include all of this business. Notice this side over here, contracting, releasing. Another deep breath. We start off slowly because we can cultivate this deep awareness in our bodies. And if we just jump into exercise without tuning in, that leaves a lot of space for injury. So you want to start off by paying close attention and getting really present. Come onto your hands and knees and take your one knee forward and back a few times and let your hip decompress a little bit. Maybe draw some circles really big with your knee all the way around. 3 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. Reverse. And switch to that other side. And you get 3 big old circles in one direction and 3 in the other. And if you're paying attention, you can feel some of the muscles that are already moving the leg inside the hip joint. So this one I love is a good, nice opening warm up. Take a couple of blocks and have a seat on the blocks, 2. Stack them 1, 2, and then sit with your knees a little wider than your feet. You're going to inch this right one over a little bit. Press down into the floor with your foot. Take your knee out to the side. Take your knee back. Relax those instructions. Press down, shift your knee out, shift your knee back, and relax. Again, down, out, and back. Relax. Last one here. Down, out, and back. Relax. Now, second side. We're going to press this foot down, knee out, knee back. Relax. Foot presses down, knee out, knee back. Relax. And again, foot presses down, knee out, knee back. Good. And relax. Come out of that. And we're going to do a little sequence. So take your blocks and move them away to the side. We're only going to need 1 for this next exercise. And come up to standing with me. So, a couple of things. If you practice yoga, this is going to be different from the yoga that you've been working on. So normally in a warrior 2, they tell you to take your heels one and then the other. But instead of that, I want your SI joint to be safe. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to step the left foot straight back. And then you're going to let your hips stay here. And you're not going to try to twist your hips forward or any other direction. You're just going to let them land and stay. So a lot of hip injuries occur when we do shift in the pelvis. So if you have an instructor that comes and tries to twist your hips, just politely decline. Um, so take your left foot, step it way back, and get. So the one thing that you can do is you can inch your feet apart away from each other and sink your hips a little bit. Now, that's safe to do. But again, you don't want to twist your pelvis in either direction. And just push down with both feet. You've got one of them on a block up here. You've got one of them flat on the floor. This front one is pressing on a block. And I want you to notice, so if you push your heel into the block, you're going to have a particular opening in the hip joint. So just kind of feel what that does. It doesn't have to be a hard push with the heel, just a nice gentle push with the heel. And then with your toes, I want you to pedal your toes into the floor and your heel lightens a little bit. And the block might even lift up a teeny tiny bit. And that makes a different kind of hip opening. So I just want you to feel the difference in your hip joint. All right, again, let's push down through the heel and feel what's there. And then we're going to push down through the toes and feel what's there. All right, now the whole of the foot. See if you can kind of even out the pressure and breathe. And if you look at your knee, I want you to see that your knee is over the visual field of your middle toe and maybe the last two toes. Take one more breath. Lift your chest. We're going to walk this foot in, toe, heel, toe, until you feel like really safe to come out. Let's switch it on over to the other side. So you can soccer kick your block up here, up towards the left top of your mat. Left foot steps on, right foot steps back. So you can come down into this without a big old bang. Your feet are separate right to left, and you're not moving your pelvis. Let's push the heel gently, pedal the heel down into the block. And feel how it translates up here, how it maneuvers in the joint, where it opens the joint. And then if you're pushing through the balls of the foot into the block, how it's different. You feel it in a little different area of the hip. And then again, pushing your heel into the floor, into the block. And then you're going to push the balls of your feet into the block. Okay. And again, one more time with that heel. One more time with the balls of the foot. Nice. And then this back foot goes heel, toe, to come out. All right, now we're going to ditch the block and do a little extended side angle. So if you're familiar with extended side angle, again, it's going to show up a little differently than in your normal, like some kind of a vinyasa class or something. It's going to be different from that. So we're going to stand with both feet facing forward, and this foot is coming back. Again, we're coming into this same position. We're going to put the fingertips on the floor. Put them behind your foot if you can. Now, if that's a far reach, what you can do with the block is place the block in whatever dimension to help get you lifted and get you here. I want you to think about your feet sinking down into the floor, both of them, and feel your hips get really solid, your legs get really solid. I want you to take your torso and roll it down and up a few times. Down and up a few times. And then hold here. Hold with your feet pressing into the floor. Now I'm going to give you some options because some of us might have a little more experience and want a little bit more. So if that's you, what you can do is lift your ribs off of your thigh. It's going to make you work a little harder. Or you could pick up your toes off the floor. It's gonna make you work even harder, right? Now, normally the arms are something like this, but you can take them up because it helps you reach your spine long. And then release out of it. Again, you're welcome to toe and heel the feet until it feels good to come out. It's one way out of it. We'll explore another way in this uh, next round. Let's go to the left. Again, feet are separate right to left, and you don't want to twist your pelvis. Make sure that your knee goes again over the visual field of the middle and maybe outside toes, and place your fingertips on the floor or on a block. And you're welcome to get a little wider if you wish. We're going to roll forward and to the side, and forward and to the side, and forward and to the side. And then hold. Rotate your body forward. Show me your belly button and your heart. Excellent. If you want a little bit more, lift up. Pick the foot up. Any variation of these, you're welcome to do. Here's Cha-Cha. She's going to join in on the fun. Slowly, gently, toe heel to come out. Make sure you don't step on your animals. All right, we're going to do this again on this first side. We're going to use a little different method in getting out. But here we go. Take this leg back, fingertips to the floor or a block. Get really solid through the feet. Let your feet drop down into the floor. Roll your body forward. Maybe even lift up. Maybe even pop the toes up. Now this time what we're going to do is we'll put the foot solid on the floor and use the strength of this leg to slowly come up through the leg and see how that goes. And be careful when you do it. Don't send yourself running. Here we go, second side. Come on in, fingertips to the floor. Roll the waist open. Breathe deep. Lift your toes up. You're on the heel here. You might be lifting up here or not. And then slowly, gently lift. And then walk around and let that exercise integrate. It's integrating into your body when you move around gently after you do a particular position. All right, just kind of notice what is going on here in the hips. This will definitely open the hip joint. All right, now we're going to come into a hands and knees position. And we're going to do just a little bit of hip opening glute work. So we're going to do some fire hydrant kickbacks, and we're going to add a little spice to them today. So from the hands and knees, put your right elbow on the floor, and then bring your left knee up. Now we're going to reach this leg and extend it long and bring it forward. Again, reach it long behind you and bring it forward. Now we're going to place this knee on the floor, and we're going to lift this other leg and rotate to the side. It's almost like an extended or like a modified side plank. Right knee to the floor, right elbow to the floor. Here we go. Fire hydrant long leg. Fire hydrant, long leg. Knee to the floor, and a little rotation with a kick. And so what this trains is, because a lot of times when we are working with hips, we try to work both of them at the same time, which is great. It can help. Let's do this other side with a lot of things, but really, when you think about all of the activities that you do, running, cycling, walking, most of the exercises that you do, most of the activities that you do, the sports you play, you don't see a tennis player hopping toward the ball. You see a tennis player running toward the ball, one leg at a time. So one side of the hip, or one side of the glutes is working and the other one is extending, right? Let's do one more of these on the side. So when you train your glutes, you train one at a time, and you train also strength and shifting weight from right to left, because that's what we do consistently. Running, tennising, golfing, swimming, whatever you're doing, you're probably extending one and contracting the other. So here we go, second side, elbow to the floor, knee to the side, reach the leg long, knee to the side, good. And rotate, extend, switch. Keep breathing in and out of your nose when your glutes are a little tired. What happens with your breath? Take a moment to notice that. And if you find yourself not breathing, please breathe. Years ago, I noticed that when it got hard in my exercise, or when it got hard in my life, I stopped breathing. I would hold my breath. And over time, I consistently would interrupt it and I would start breathing again. Gives your brain and your body more oxygen to think and perform clearly in distressing times. So if you find yourself not breathing, don't make it wrong, but just start breathing. This is our last one. Ooh, okay, anybody feel their hips now? We're going to come into a second position. But I don't want you to force this. All right, this is like a natural second position. So if your hips aren't very open, you might be in a second position like this. It's not wrong. It's really not wrong. But sit here for a moment so you can feel your side glute medius relax. You can feel some of your gluteus maximus relax. Take another breath here. And yes, at some point we will work this motion so that you can get into a second position that's comfortable and wide at the same time. All right, now I love to put my hands underneath my knees to support this coming out, to close the knees. Feels really good. All right, and we're going to come into an almost pigeon. So here's how that goes. I love this double L seated position for a lot of different reasons, but one of them is that when I'm rolling into, so a lot of times people really kind of rig their pigeon. So what I want you to do is just simply about a 90-degree angle here. Make sure that your foot is flexed. We're going to keep your knee safe by really flexing your foot. And then kind of rolling into this. In fact, if you have something like this, you can lift the heel and that'll keep your knee even safer. You could also hand under the heel. And I want you to just kind of feel where there's stretch. And don't go into 100% stretch. Don't do it. Hold here and breathe. And then gently, slowly roll out. Come back in one more time. Lift the chest. This is not about getting down to the floor. In fact, please don't. That can not be great for your knee. Let's switch. Here we are here. And we're gently rolling in a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Again, you can support your heel with your hand and just hold where you feel a stretch. You don't need to twist all the way into this. And over time, what will happen is, over time, when things open, this hip is a little tight. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I'm not rolling as far in because there's the tightness. Breathe, lift the chest in and out of the nose. And then gently roll out. Excellent. All right, take a resting position. Lie flat. Put your legs up the wall. Oh, legs up the wall would be perfect right now after that, after what we just did. So if you have a wall nearby, do a little legs up the wall and stay there for about 5 minutes, focusing on your breath and focusing on your relaxation. I will see you tomorrow morning. And until then, have a really, really good day. Take good care.